Yes, it is good. I'm looking forward to it.
I mean, we did the open damn it open thing last year. That was our most cerebral skit last year.
I have no leg to stand on after doing that. And I pushed that through to the very end. I was defiant about it. So, yeah.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Autopod Decepticast, your bi-weekly podcast that delivers an episode-by-episode breakdown of the original G1 animated series. This is episode 112, and we are going to be covering episode 8 of the Transformers series, S.O.S. Dinobots. Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm your host, Aaron, and it strikes me that I've never really gone into detail about how the members of the Autopod Decepticast met. You see, I was a dashing chaos theorist invited to a mysterious dinosaur-themed island park by some old white guy, and I was teamed up with Caleb, a paleontologist, and Ryan, a paleobotanist, to assess the safety of the island, which is weird because you'd think they'd want engineers to check that out. But soon we all understood exactly why we were there. Turns out there weren't rides at this park. No, there were real motherfucking dinosaurs there. We're talking Triceratops, Brontosaurus, Raptors, motherfucking T-Rex, the musician, pop rock superstar. They said that, all these dinosaurs were ladies and couldn't breed, but I was like, y'all fooling with Mother Nature, and she always gets her bag, honey. Well, I didn't like it from the jump, and the trip turned out pretty bad. A tropical storm hit the island, power went out, all the reptiles escaped. It was bad. The lawyer got eaten, Newman got eaten, the Australian got eaten. We found some eggs, indicating I was right the whole time about that breeding shit. Anyway, after a whole lot of drama, we got away, and as we were all riding away in a helicopter, we were like, old white man, we will not endorse your island.
You made yourself Jeff Goldblum.
I sure did. That's what happens when you write the intros.
I'm Ryan. I guess I'm Laura Dern.
You're Laura Dern.
I'm Caleb. I'm Ice Cube. We're talking about Anaconda, right?
Great, guys. So, welcome to the episode. As it is the beginning of the episode, and we have a new tradition. Ryan, why don't you go into your Jigger, Beaker, and Glass cocktail of the week?
Hey, y'all.
That's your new catchphrase.
Hey, y'all. Before we get to the drink, like I did last time, I'd like to read one of the remedies. This one is to salvage a guest from the effects of hanging.
Okay.
Just to catch you guys up, this is a book written around the turn of the 20th century, and so it's real weird and kind of racist.
I see they specify hanging by rope.
Yes.
Not the morning after.
No, it is literally hanging like a person. Also, if it's in the book, how many people have hung themselves at a party? Like, this must have been a thing.
No, I don't know if it's... I didn't go there. I didn't think like suicide. I was thinking like...
No, that's what it is.
Oh, interesting.
That's what it is in the book.
So it's presuming that you attempted suicide, failed, and now you need a good stiff drink to help get over it?
No.
Okay,
it is that you
just
drank to the point where you now have a guest who is attempting to hang themselves to die.
This has to have been a joke. This has to have been what passed for humor.
Maybe. You might be right.
Times.
I don't know. But it says, to alleviate apparent death from toxic poisoning, and especially should, in any happenstance, the quality of the liquor be suspect. That was also the subsection that I read last episode. To salvage a guest from the effects of hanging by rope, not the morning after. So, there you go.
Gotcha.
This is, as we are happy to say, a most unlikely emergency, but we surmise on occasion that an amateur mixer, either through remorse at the horror of his concoctions, through self-induced intoxication, and a weariness of life and life's problems, may seek to take his own life by knotting one end of a bar towel or cocktail apron over the nearest chandelier and noose it about his own neck.
Chandelier? That's a bad choice. But
it is a terrible choice. That's not going to hold.
No.
I can tell you that for sure. In any such case, we quote an ancient English routine which should kill
or cure.
Jesus Christ. 1. Don't dawdle or joke. Hanging is no fun and must be handled quickly or not at all.
Right.
You just ignore it. 2. Cut him or her down.
Yes.
3. Carry the patient to the nearest open space on the floor and strip off clothing. This just seems like a crime at this point. Strip off the nearest clothing, or, if still breathing, take to the bedroom for this process.
Whoa. Tread lightly, book.
Wrap him in hot blankets with hot water bottles. Apply hot water bottles, hot bricks, hot bags of sand.
Bags of sand?
I don't know where you get them. Or hot glass bottles, whatever. Okay, or the armpits to the soles of the feet, between the thighs, and especially along the spine. Number 4, rub the surface of the body with hands enclosed in wool gloves. Number 5, where respiration has ceased, don't go in for all this routine, but place patient face down, fully clothed on a living room rug. So we're just ignoring, I guess, all the previous.
Take off the clothes part, yeah.
Head to one side, tongue pulled free, and proceed with drowning first aid. See any Boy Scout manual. All right.
I feel like this entire section could use an editor.
Yeah.
Is it? I can't tell. Maybe it's supposed to be funny. I
think it's supposed to be a quirky writing style.
It's a joke.
Who knows?
It's a book about cocktails, so they're having fun.
All right,
so Ryan's just sitting here like, these people really did this.
These people be cray, y'all.
No, it's humor.
Okay, so for this episode, we are doing the Dinobot Knickerbocker Punch.
Yay.
Okay.
This is from 1915.
Okay.
Awesome.
How many of us remember the Maxfield Parish Old King Cole when it was formerly hung, not the St. Regis at all, in the old hotel Knickerbocker Bar in the southeast corner of Broadway and 42nd Street?
I do.
Blah, blah, blah. Basically, it's about how great it was to be white and male in 1915 and go to the Knickerbocker Hotel.
Okay.
So, here is the drink recipe. Into a goblet, strain the juice of a half a lemon or one small lime. Add half a teaspoon sugar, a fat jigger of St. Croix or other medium dark rum, 1 pony of water. A pony is about half a shot. And 2 dashes of orange bitters. Ice with lots of freshly cracked ice, which I didn't crack the ice, I just made the ice. I just put fucking ice in it. Stir to chill, decorate with fresh fruit galore, finally float 1 pony of still red burgundy. Still basically means not.
What's the word? You checked out.
What's the word? Whenever it's bubbles.
Effervescent?
But
Carbonated.
Carbonated still means not carbonated. A sprig of mint and short straws are also, or in order also. Okay, great. So this is the fucking drink we made.
So what's in it one more time? But
you don't even listen to me.
Flowery language. I heard some rum. I heard a half a shot of rum.
Yeah. It's basically
It's pretty. Here, I'll take a picture.
It's lime and lemon juice, and then sugar, dark rum, which I use Myers actually, and then water, and then burgundy wine floated on the top of it.
Okay, let's drink this up. This looks. I always like Ryan. I always love your choice of glassware for these.
Thank you.
The presentation is always top notch.
To being white and male in the 1915.
Oh, shit. Oh my God. I don't know what happened to me.
It's very the fruit and the herbs come through, the mint.
It's wild. It is a wild.
I expected sweet. It's not sweet.
Not
it's
at
not
all.
bad at all. It's balanced.
It's a sour drink. It just surprised me. It greatly surprised me. Refreshing. Almost salty.
Yeah, interesting.
Well, I came in it.
Ah, of course.
What if it turned out this was all just a ploy for like my secret plan of like making people eat my cum?
Well, I would sue you. I mean, that's pretty simple.
Sure.
I like this one. It's certainly better than.
It's better than the last one. The last one was well. To be fair, the last one was from the fucking 17th century.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
They were just doing whatever they
could. We were barely out of caves.
They hadn't even invented flavor then.
I do like this one. I like this one. It is surprising. It looks like it's going to be sweet. But yes, it is
I appreciate
sour.
that it's not. Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
We will be sipping this throughout the cocktail. I'm going to recommend this one, which, by the way, we didn't do a Rate the Scheme last episode. Oh well.
Well,
I'm sure nobody's missing it.
I chose this one because not only it's a punch, which is the Dinobot Knickerbocker Punch.
Mm-hmm.
I chose it because not only do the Dinobots pack a wallop, but also I think they'd love to drink out of a big old bowl of lithium liquor, argon alcohol, barium booze, or maybe, hey, some hydrogen hooch.
Huh.
Strontium, stop.
I love how witty all of you people are.
We're great.
You're amazing people. Hey, TFCon.
Yes.
We're doing a panel.
Yes, we are.
We're kicking off the night around 8 o'clock Friday.
Are we
Some
doing,
might say we're the headliner.
is this?
I would say we're the opening act.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the headliner comes late. So we're the piece of shit that gets thrown up at the beginning.
Now, a schedule hasn't come out. I'm assuming, so we're on at 8.
When
I'm assuming
when does this air?
October 20th.
So right around the corner.
So we're,
folks.
Yeah, I'm assuming there'll be a podcasters panel. Don't know. That's usually around 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Then they'll do a little opening speech, and then it's us. And I don't know if anything's after us.
Yep, we are
come
right
see us
at TFCon in D.C. The last week of October. We will be right after the opening ceremony at about 8:15. Our panel on Friday.
And Ryan, by the way, Ryan is going to actually be making specialty cocktails for everyone.
For everybody. I'm just going to pass them out. I'm like, definitely drink it.
It's got his cum in it.
Gross.
I don't know if we can leave that in or not.
Ties back.
Yeah.
Yeah, look forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun and kick things off right at TFCon. Next up, just wanted to, again, shout out our Patreon. There are those who claim to love the Autopod Decepticast, but then there are those who put their wallet where their oral orifice is. And no, that didn't make much sense, but what does make sense is supporting the APDC financially on our Patreon page. There's several tiers of support you can choose depending on how much of your, hard-won discretionary income you want to give us and what type of amazing APDC gear or art you might be interested in. And we're still working towards our first goal of 25 patrons, which will unlock the APDC booty box.
Yep, we're almost halfway there.
So thank you to those who are supporting us. And if you want to be a part of that community, check us out at patreon.com/APODcast. Nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you everybody who's given to it. It's been an amazing, I've been very surprised and pleased as to all the love that we've been getting so far.
I'm always shocked when people are giving us money. Perplexed.
Okay, we shouted out Michael Trimblett on the last episode, as they call it, in the land down under where he resides, but
Australia!
we're going to play a game devised by him that, for lack of a better name, we're going to call it Down Under Pronunciation.
That's the worst name I've ever heard.
All right, so what we're doing is I'm putting on the screen for Ryan and Caleb to see a word from Australia, and they are going to attempt to pronounce it, and then we're going to hear how it's really pronounced here.
And I'm going to go one step further. I'm not going to only pronounce it correctly, I'm going to pronounce it with an Australian accent.
And this is Ryan, I'm just going to pronounce it like an American.
Yes.
All right, so our first word is a semi-rural Central Coast suburb in Australia. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first always.
Okay.
Okay. Tumby-umby.
Okay. Tomby-umby.
Tumby-umby.
Oh, I was
feel
accidentally right.
I feel like you both did a
we
great
both
job.
did.
That was an easy one. Next up, this is the capital and most populous city of the Australian state of Queensland.
This is, I know how this is pronounced, but here's the thing about Americans: is we pronounce vowels very nasally, and so I know this is Brisbane, but I'm going to say Brisbane. It's the way an American
And
would say it.
I'll say it the Australian way, which is Brisbane. There it is. Brisbane.
Brisbane, not Brisbane.
Ryan was closer than you, Caleb. 2-1.
The guy just said it twice in two different ways.
Brisbane, not Brisbane.
Oh!
Yeah.
Not Brisbane. Okay.
So you think I got that one wrong? Okay.
Yeah, you got it wrong. So it's 2-1. This is a valley deriving its name from the Aboriginal words for horse and place.
Yarramalong.
And I'll say Yarramalong.
Yarramalong.
I think we're pretty
both a
pretty
blend
close.
of blend of rightness and wrongness here. Okay. This is a city with a population of 362 as of the 2016
Oh
census.
God. Doralong.
And I'll say Duralong.
Duralong.
Hey, Caleb was closer.
Caleb got that one.
I will say though that the pronunciator that you have is pronouncing it with an American accent, so there's a bias.
I don't think there is. I think that's Michael that provided.
Oh, you
this.
think so?
Yeah, I think that's Michael.
No shit. Oh, I'm overdoing the accent. Oof.
Oh, this is the capital city of
The
Australia?
capital city of Australia.
I didn't realize. Wow,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
not Melbourne?
I always thought it was Sydney.
We're all stupid. Canberra.
I'm going to scale mine back now. It's Canberra.
Canberra, not Canberra.
Oh, you both lost on that one.
Canberra.
Canberra.
Interesting.
Canberra.
Interesting.
Okay, this is a fun one. A suburb located on the central coast of New South Wales. Some believe the name is a take on an Aboriginal term for young grass.
Budgewoi.
Budgewoi.
You're going to pick up a pattern here soon.
Budgiewoi.
Oh, so the E is really punched. Okay.
All right, a Central Coast suburb, Aboriginal word for koala.
Coolwong.
Coolawong.
Coolywong.
Coolywong. Oi.
There's the pattern.
Caleb's not going to pick up on the pattern.
The capital and most populous city of the Australian state of Victoria.
I know that it's pronounced Melbourne, but I'm going to say, looking at it, I want to say Melbourne.
I'm going to also say, because I've seen, in the movie, Mad Max movie, it's pronounced Melbourne.
Melbourne, not Melbourne.
You got it.
This is one of the original 18 districts of the Australian Capital Territory. Cave paintings and artifacts confirm the region has been occupied by its original inhabitants for over 21,000 years.
Tuggerawong.
All right. Tuggerawong.
Tuggerawong.
Ugh, Tuggerawong.
There's a lot of they don't pay attention to E's.
But when they do, they really
But yeah,
do.
but then
But when
it
they
hits
do, it's
sometimes.
a hard E. Yeah.
Yeah. Make up your mind, Australia.
English is garbage.
Yeah.
Central Coast suburb has removed grazing livestock and horses to make way for a community center.
Watanabe.
Watanabe. And by the way, that's what my wife says.
Okay.
Watanabe.
What a...
What?
Cause,
Watanabe.
Watanabe.
and then she's like, oh, look, every time, she's like, look at that knob.
Watanabe. Watanabe. In
Oh,
Australia.
Jesus.
Okay, this is the last one. This is a lowland desert region known as the mating season collection point during the Kookaburra migration.
Fledge Wobby's Long Array.
I'll say Fejiwabi's Lungara.
You fucking idiots. That is not real at all.
You asshole.
You fucking dick.
Yeah, I just made up an Australian word.
That is, you know what's so fucked up about Australia is that totally seems like it's real.
I think that Caleb would have been closest to right if it were a real world. Fejiwabi's Lungara.
Wes and I were actually talking about Australia last night, where it's like 9 out of the 10 most venomous snakes live there. It just seems like Australia wants to murder you. Like, what? It doesn't want you to live.
No, I mean, they got those plovers there that swoop you like a dickhead.
Yes.
Okay, it's time to get into the episode here. And thank you, by the way, Michael, for hooking us up with that game. That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
So,
If you want to send us a game, send us a game.
we'll probably play it. Send us a drink. We'll drink it.
Absolutely.
We'll do anything.
Absolutely.
So, last episode recap. Okay, last episode, a big mellow dude joined the crew after finding out his old friends were somewhat crude. Hey, played chicken with Starscream. They did collide, laser avalanche crystal. Then he died. Hey. My note said in Sugar Hill Gang cadence.
Yes, great. It was good. It was good.
So
No reference to chicken.
I know, or the macaroni.
Yeah.
That's the second, I think, Sugar Hill reference that we've done in an intro.
I think I did a whole intro
Yes.
about your macaroni not tasting good. With something that tastes like wood.
Wood. Chicken tastes like wood.
So we're going to get into episode 8, S.O.S. Dinobots, aired 10/27/84, going back in time from the last one, written by Donald F. Glut, who, by the way, is going to be at TFCon D.C.
Oh, yeah?
And
He writes a lot of these early episodes.
Yeah. So this episode, geez, we're early in the journey, but this, to me, without getting too much into it, is going to be one of the laziest strung together pieces of plot advancement that we've seen so far. Mostly in the superpower department, but there's also some bad animation. But let's just kick it off.
Well,
What?
so I just want to say up top,
In defense of.
this is the second of the VHS tapes I owned of the show as a kid. The other was Roll for It.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that I guess I do know that is probably why I have an outsized love for the Dinobots, but I love the Dinobots. Like, even the shitty, stupid way they're portrayed in the movie. And in season 3, I just love the Dinobots. I love them so much.
People love them. They're fan favorite characters for sure. I don't hate the Dinobots. I just think this is a crappy episode.
Also, I'm wondering. It is a terrible episode. I've said this before, but this one may have the most errors that I've ever seen in an episode. And I also question why I only had 2 VHS tapes of Transformers. But then I'm thinking, like, well, they were like $20 a piece.
Yeah, VHS was expensive. And I don't know, it's not like they had all the episodes available commercially either. I think they just had cherry-picked ones that...
Yeah, it was FHE, Family Home Entertainment, that released them. And $20 in the 80s would have been like $50 today. So it'd be like if my family would have bought me a box set, if that even existed at the time, which it did not, it would have been like $1,000.
I remember the FHE logo. It was like kids crayon font,
and it was like that's.
I don't know why I don't remember the sound.
I'll drop it in.
All right, well, let's kick off the episode. There's a whole lot of shaking going on at Autobot headquarters. Ironhide doesn't know what it is, but his gut tells him it's Decepticon activity. And luckily, he has a sonadar sensor
which technology is not a thing.
That enables him to see behind stone walls of their fortress. Turns out it's not Decepticons back there, but it is something kind of weird. So all hands get together to knock a hole in the wall. Sideswipe uses what looks to be the Transformers equivalent of pistons, or like a cattle gun, while Brawl just clears the debris. Mm-hmm. So they enter the cavern. Turns out that shit on the other side is dinosaur bones.
Okay. Yes. That was
paused
great.
At 1 minute and 19 seconds.
So, well, just a couple of short things. Sonar doesn't particularly work well in air. I don't know why they didn't use radar. But it's fine. But also, we've paused here, yes.
He called it sonadar.
Sonadar, which is not a thing.
I guess it's a hybrid.
But we've paused where they look into the cavern at the bones, and Optimus Prime's legs must be 100 feet tall.
He is strangely gigantic and out of weirdly proportioned. It's hard to see because everybody's in front of him, but you can tell his proportions are weird. Like it's as if his hands end at like his belly button.
Mm-hmm. We also we could gloss over a bunch of special things like Ironhide sonar and then Sideswipe's pistons, which I guess are a thing.
He uses them like hammers, but they look like they're the kind of thing you're supposed to use like a jackhammer.
But
he just hits it like a hammer on the rock. So the Autobots, they're intrigued by what they find in the cave here, and they request a master class in prehistoric reptilian life from Spike, because what else has he got to do?
Yeah. Also, this is like the easiest excavated dinosaur find in history. They're just sitting on top of the ground.
Yeah, it was
That would be worth millions of dollars, right?
and also it'd be just weird, like dinosaurs have just crawled into a cave and died.
Well, I think I read that all these dinosaurs are technically from different periods of history.
Yeah.
So, like, they would never be found.
I didn't
together.
It's possible that just over the period of millions of years, like one would wander into the cave and die,
by
and
just
another
sheer
would
luck.
wander into the cave and die.
Like the La Brea tar pit. And I mean, I guess I have to address it like, yes, Wheeljack starts to talk about how it feels like stone before he even touches the bone, but whatever.
Whatever.
It doesn't, like, that's the
moving on
least
that,
of what this episode's
true.
shit is about.
Oh, and listener, I hope you didn't really care about that whole emerging Tremor subplot that was starting to play out here, because we
comes
won't
back.
hear anything about that ever again.
Why did that happen? Nobody knows.
So we transition to another scene here, and it wouldn't be a Transformers episode if it didn't involve a power facility of some kind. Featured this week, another hydroelectric dam.
Where's Chip?
Oh god, another motherfucking dam.
So Reflector is snapping some perfect...
A picture of just water. He just takes pictures of water.
That's how it works. He's trying to figure out how it works.
He's going to put it on his Instagram. #NoFilter. Then...
Not even like Lark or...
Soundwave is just recording audio with this weird, trippy, serpentine sort of microphone coming from his body.
It's
just
super weird.
Wiggling about. It looks like a cobra is attached to him.
But
Also, this dude who has bright orange hair and then becomes brown.
Yes, the animation error number 50 already. So some random tourists state that...
As long as the water goes over the Great Falls, the generators will keep producing electrical energy.
Well, that's all the magic word Soundwave needed to hear, and his little team is off to report its findings to old Bucketnuts.
I also like whenever Reflector is talking to Soundwave, he looks back and forth around them like, alright, fine. Like, and then they just fly away.
The whole reconnaissance just seems pointless.
It's ridiculous.
Honestly, you'd think
Also, that's
Decepticons
just-
would already know how a dam works.
How a dam works. Yeah, it's continuous energy. That's how all power plants work.
it's not the first dam run power plant they've been to.
Yeah, it's not at all. But yet they got to send a research team.
I think maybe I hate this episode.
Turning it around on you, good. So yeah, they fly back to their headquarters. Spike takes a crew of Autobots to a natural history museum.
Well, no, he just takes Hound.
Oh, is it just Hound?
Yeah.
I thought he took them all.
No, it's just Hound.
Listen,
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
there's a few problems here. I've worked in museums. I have a degree in it.
Oh, give us the skinny.
You don't want a big robot tromping around.
Are you sure that's
You
what your
don't.
education has taught you?
It's frowned upon.
So so Spike takes Hound to a natural history museum, and to Caleb's point, luckily the architects of this place predicted that giant robots would want to use the facility because they've managed to enter without incident whatsoever. They have plenty of headroom to traverse, and nobody seems alarmed at the sight of a giant robot just walking around.
Heavy metal, dude.
There are some like punk ass rockers checking out the museum here.
Wow, man, that's what I call heavy metal. There.
I do this part like where, so Brontosaurus. I just want to address the fact that the Brontosaurus talk. Like for all you paleontologists out there who listen to our podcast, do you guys remember that like Brontosaurus was a dinosaur and then became not a dinosaur, kind of like Pluto?
Sure.
Do you?
Pluto
Or
was
you
a
play movie?
Pluto was a dinosaur, and then it wasn't. I do remember
Great.
when they figured
Great.
that out.
Actually, I didn't know that. I am just making that up.
Oh, really? Yeah, no, Brontosaurus was a dinosaur for like a long time.
And then he wasn't.
Yeah,
Sure,
because
I get
basically it was a sauropod. It was like it was two fucking assholes like who were early paleontologists in the 1800s and just started making skeletons.
Sure. Yeah.
And so like Brontosaurus was discovered later to not like the skull was just a bunch of an amalgamation of creatures.
Yeah.
And then so it was supposed to be like a Diplodocus or a Brachiosaurus, but it turns out, yes, it is a species, and this is interesting to nobody, but like, yes, it was like Pluto, which was a planet and then wasn't a planet, Brontosaurus was in the 80s, like one of the huge dinosaurs, and then he in the 90s and 2000s became not a dinosaur and is a dinosaur again.
But how is he a dinosaur again? Because they did fake dinosaurs, right? They
they just put a bunch of
find
shit
another species and said, we'll just call that Brontosaurus and make it easier.
because parts of it were real. Like
Yeah. Okay. But also, I would say that's a little different that, it's not like people like slap together pieces to make Pluto and then like, it's a fake planet or it's not real.
Look at it.
It was classified as a planet and then declassified.
I guess that's true. I was trying to make an allegory.
Yeah.
How pissed would you be if you're the Autobots and you spend all these resources to make your dinosaur, and then you find out what dinosaur you modeled your big robot after isn't even a real fucking dinosaur?
What was the name of the Brontosaurus transformer?
Sludge.
What kind of identity crisis would he have that he was created as something that doesn't really exist?
Don't care.
Me have existential crisis.
So we're at the museum. Holograms or Hound's hologram gun has a number of amazing powers that we don't know about because he aims it at some fossilized bones, presuming these aren't plaster casts of fossilized bones, and somehow zaps he and Spike into the Jurassic period. It's a kind of hallucination that Spike and Hound and the rest of the Autobots all of a sudden share together. And Spike says that the dinosaurs are big and dumb, small brains. Wheeljack.
I'm sorry. What point are we at here?
325.
Aaron, in your view, there's supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus in that scene, and it's not there. Go back.
Also, that Triceratops is totally dancing. Watch.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's supposed to have a Tyrannosaurus next to it.
I see.
It's supposed to be like defending itself against a Tyrannosaurus.
Oh, okay.
So we've got the fake Brontosaurus. Then we've got a Triceratops that's just kind of kicking it by itself.
Yeah, otherwise it makes no sense. But there's supposed to be a Tyrannosaurus.
So in Ryan's version of this, of his copy of this episode, there's an actual Tyrannosaurus there. That does make a lot more sense.
Otherwise
he's just twerking. He's just doing the Tyrannosaurus twerk.
There is a Triceratops twerking.
Why would they take that out?
I don't know.
We don't want to fight.
They're just like, we don't fucking care.
How would that fuck up even happen? That you would have the real print and then the print that's
they can remove the transparency?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
It all ends up at a final post-production. I don't know.
That opens the door to think of all the cartoons that we can manipulate with other old cells and stuff. We can just slap the Ninja Turtles in there.
C-Lab 2021.
True.
Mm-hmm. So, although I'm assuming that all those were eventually digitized and then just, easily manipulated. Okay, so Wheeljack is very intrigued by this dinosaur concept, and he thinks they need to take it and bring it into real life, and on behalf of the Autobots, Ratchet co-signs the idea, and with Optimus Prime's final blessing, it's off to the races. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. It just might work.
Well, Huffer doesn't think it will.
Unless you're an insufferable piece of junk garbage.
Dildo.
Unsufferable?
There, look.
See?
There he's back.
It'll never work. Big waste of time.
Huffer's not into it, but the rest of the team just gets right to work on this cursed Frankensteinian project here.
I don't understand how this works at all. Like, why? Yeah. Whatever.
We go back to base. They're watching some of the video from Hound's holograms. They are building some schematics. I don't know why the Autobots need to continue to dig into the cave where the dinosaurs are.
Why it matters
at all. They are totally wrecking.
Also, go back just 1 second. If you notice, we're paused at,
404.
404. Behind Blue Streak and Mirage carrying, I think it's one of the Sludge's legs. Grimlock's head is just laying back behind them. And I never noticed that before, which is kind of weird.
And lots of, just parts strewn about
They're
here.
totally wrecking a invaluable archaeological site.
I know, yeah.
Archaeological.
Yeah, they shouldn't tell the government about it because they would step in.
They fucking care about the government.
I mean, I assume they pay the taxes on it. Volcano taxes.
Oh, man. Every time I look at my paycheck where I'm like, how much of my taxes are going to volcanoes?
I know. It's ridiculous. They shouldn't give it its own line item. Back to the Decepticons. Megatron is impressed with Soundwave and Reflector's data, guys.
Even as a kid, this upset me where the tower lowers down into the Decepticon base, and the steam keeps coming out of it, and I'm like, it just
bothers
looks
you?
bad. It looked bad. It looked bad.
Okay.
And it should
It
feel
bothers
bad.
you.
And it should feel bad. So Megatron's excited. Never-ending power source they can use to conquer the whole universe, and he has just the plan to take it over.
I like this picture, like this drawing of Starscream.
Ugh,
That's pretty good.
really?
Oh, you don't like it?
That thing looks wildly like molten, and just it looks like he's been standing in front of the sun.
I like it. Okay.
His jet tatties are just drooping down. All right, well, I'm paused at
maybe I like
441. 441. We'll put it out on the the website. You can you vote.
You decide.
You do it.
You're an idiot, Starscream.
Also, the universe is really big. Like, maybe start with the galaxy.
And yeah, and maybe like one fucking waterfall isn't going to help you take over the whole universe.
And I can't believe it's taken me this long to like make the joke that this is a Decepticon dildo coming out of the ocean.
Yeah, I'm actually shocked that you haven't.
I mean, it's all wet.
Thank God that you're
It has a
taking your
head.
opportunity.
I'm gonna lick it.
The Decepticons are taking off. We're going back to Autobot headquarters. We got Wheeljack, Ratchet. They're unveiling, with great pleasure, I might add, the newest addition to the Autobot team.
Oh, this fucking scene is just just a treasure trove of errors of like, especially voice acting.
Yeah, it's bad. The Dinobots are huge. They're impressive. The whole team is murmuring. Everyone except Huffer, that is.
Well, it's all delivered by Blue Streak, but it's about 3 different voices. Like, it is as Blue Streak, but voiced by Peter Cullen, Dan Gilgazan, and Greg Berger. The last one being the most confusing because he's never been a voice before.
Right.
So,
Did you call him Dan Gilgazan?
Dan
Gilgazan. You're not drinking.
Nope.
This is also the part where Huffer says that annoying line of
Dinobots, huh? I thought you were supposed to make dinosaurs.
I don't even understand the joke. I don't even get it. I don't even
Like, did he
understand
really-
why it's a joke.
fucking expect them to make real life dinosaurs?
Yeah,
Is that
I do not understand.
like he thought they were going to make flesh and blood dinosaurs?
Yeah.
You're
Like,
like
and then Wheeljack just looks at him like, nah.
kick him right off the team. Ratchet commands them to transform. They do, and everyone is surprised as if that wasn't going to be the main feature of these things.
Cliff Jumper then, as Optimus, says, what else can they do?
What else? Like he's not. Yeah. What else can they do?
So to exhibit the full value add that the Dinobots are bringing to the team, they are commanded to clear some rubble, and depending on what print
And be
you have
quick
on
about
these
it.
cartoons, you're treated to either a huge buildup and released blast of power that clears the degree, or you see a buildup of sound effects with no release of power clearing out the rubble.
Yeah, it just glows and nothing happens. And that's what I saw on Tubi TV.
But that was confusing.
Well, because I'd read about it on the TF Wiki that's a thing. But on the video that I had, yes, the debris gets cleared. But yeah, and watching it like that doesn't even happen. Doesn't even glow red. Doesn't glow white.
No, the debris, they just kind of, nothing comes out of them, and the debris just sits there, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
nothing happens.
But they do all of like the buildup of like, it looks like something's going to happen. Okay. So at this point, Wheeljack explains that he gave them simple
Why
brains.
though?
I took it that he was just in a rush to get the project done. He
don't
starts
know.
to say that his intent is to upgrade their brains later. He starts to say that, but he can't finish his line because that's when the Dinobots go haywire and attack everybody.
Like, maybe just wait until you can give them real brains.
Yeah, I don't know how much longer it would have taken.
We've all said Wheeljack. He kind of, I think, punches above his weight class.
He's a real, like, fast and loose kind of inventor. He's like, fuck it. Yeah, roll it out.
Yeah. There's no QA.
I mean, he basically gives toddlers automatic weapons. Like, he makes them super powerful and dumb. Like, what do you think is going to happen?
Yeah. Wheeljack gets attacked. Ratchet, actually, it's Ratchet that gets attacked. He gets spiked. Sludge.
Isn't there a Dr. Smooth video?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a famous Dr. Smooth. It's, I think, set in the aftermath of this where Optimus Prime is yelling.
You gave him
Wheeljack
simple brains? Why?
Ratchet. Yeah, everybody go check out Dr. Smooth. We'll include that link to this episode. So, anyway, everybody's getting attacked. Grimlock manages to make his way to the control room, and Bumblebee moves to slow him down, and because he'll need help, Spike joins him.
I don't know what Spike is adding value. I don't understand why that would be helpful, but fine.
Yeah. We've got Slag. He's firing at Sunstreaker, Blue Streak, kicking their ass. Grimlock continues to stomp around.
I also like how Bumblebee is behind a pile of rubble. Like I just made me think of Ron Lim, where it's like, I don't want to draw feet. He doesn't draw feet.
Oh, he was the Marvel guy.
Not Ron Lim.
You're thinking of Ron Liefeld.
Yes, thank you, Ron Liefeld. But also, I went through a period of that. Even when you and I were sharing
elementary
drawings.
school
Yes,
drawings.
like Aaron. I got tired of drawing at the point where I get to the feet, and I just would draw a big boulder.
That's a good thing to do.
Yeah.
Why not? People never
And
know.
then Grimlock just rolls like.
Yeah, he scoots lazy.
Every now and again, the animation model will switch to the toy version of Grimlock.
Yes,
that has
especially
extra
his
line
face.
work and panel work. Yeah, right here,
there.
714. We see Grimlock open his mouth and just start emitting gobs of energy at Teletran 1.
Who is apparently made, again, as we know in this universe, computers are made of gas and oily rags.
He's going to blow, and we go to commercial, and then we return from commercial, and Teletran 1 is all fucked up.
It is.
And
Poor Teletran 1.
I know, it's sad.
And that's the end.
Caleb, go get your massage.
I have a few minutes.
So Grimlock is still on the loose, however, and after shaking off the effects of the explosion, Bumblebee manages to bait Grimlock into chasing him, which I thought was going to go somewhere, but doesn't really. Ratchet goes in to repair Teletran 1. The rest of the Autobots continue to battle Slag and Sludge.
This is the weird part. Leaving aside the animation error of Ratchet's missing right leg, Bumblebee goes off, but then Spike says,
There goes an Autobot with guts.
but it's pointing in the wrong direction, like pointing at nothing. I presume he's supposed to be pointing at Bumblebee, but here we go in just 1 second. There goes the Autobot with the gun. He's pointing at Ratchet, so I don't get it.
Nothing works right.
Not at all.
It's working.
Ratchet pulls out some handiwork out of his wrist there. Ironhide gets shot in the nuts by Trailbreaker.
By Sludge.
Trailbreaker uses his force field, which is a nice thing to have.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the last.
Fuck y'all. I guess I'll just do it myself.
In fact, the fire deflects off of Trailbreakers onto Mirage,
yes.
and lights him up.
I do like Prowl's line, doesn't anything get to this guy. I just like how powerful the Dinobots are.
Yeah, they're pretty baller. It's at this point when Optimus Prime is he's had enough. And this is the last straw.
Yeah, I mean, even earlier, Prime's rifle bounces off of Slag's neck frill. Even Prime's rifle doesn't do shit.
So Prime demands that the Dinobots must be destroyed, but Wheeljack is like, hold up, maybe, just maybe, this thing on my shoulder, this magnetic inducer, will help the situation. So he fired...
I felt like that was pretty harsh, kill it. Prime was like, kill him.
This thing that you gave life to.
Yes.
So the magnetic inducer kind of stuns the Dinobots. It causes them to revert to robot mode, and Wheeljack is pleading with Prime to let him continue the project, and Prime is just like, deactivate him, put him in a cave.
They must never be activated again. Yeah.
So if are the Dinobots supposed to be sentient? Is that what you believe at this point? Here's
my belief. At this point, no. I don't think they're supposed to be quote unquote sentient. Although that, begs into question of what does sentience mean? But definitely they're sentient whenever Wheeljack reactivates them. But here, I think the implication is they're not intelligent.
Don't even have the capability.
Not
for
even like a dog.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Because dogs are sentient.
Yes, dogs are sentient.
The dam. Afternoon. Decepticons show up and execute the most awkwardly animated attack I ever hope to see. Shots fire out of nowhere.
I love it. I love the way the rear guard, like whenever Skywarp, I think is who it is.
Yeah.
Thundercracker. I'm sorry, Thundercracker blast.
No, it was Skywarp.
He's running so. He's running so like.
It's like the guy who runs away in like a Keystone Cops kind of way. Like, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Dick first.
Basically,
run away, Dick first.
Yeah, there's like just this string of laser that's chasing after people. Then we've got Starscream shooting a spread cannon, I guess, at the turbines, and
I assume that's a null ray.
And that seems dumb because they got to put their John cubes on those nipples and milk those babies. Anyway, all the Power Factory workers have Teletran 1's phone number, I guess, because that's who they decide to call. And guess what? They can't get through because Teletran 1 is all kinds of fucked up. But the Decepticons don't know that. So Soundwave sends Ravage to destroy the humans' emergency communications hardware.
I love the fat dude. I like his character design. I like the weird mustache. I don't know.
Put that on the website, a picture of that guy, and just with the caption, "I love the fat dude."
That's not nice.
Megatron lands and claims the dam for his own, and another luscious rainbow drapes his presence. They've got the dam.
Got it.
Hound is conservatively traveling at 400 miles an hour. We just saw crazy. Hound and Spike like zooming into the foreground.
Very fast.
This is ridiculous when we talked about sort of the story advancement earlier and how they just really took a lot of shortcuts. So Teletran 1 is down. Spike and Hound are patrolling for Decepticon activity. Somehow the machine gun on Hound's radar, on Hound's back, doubles as a radar. I don't really understand that. And he's picking up electronic signals and think they could be Decepticons. He then uses his hologram gun, which is a multi-purpose tool, to project an image that I guess he's receiving from the machine gun radar.
I don't know.
And sure enough, it's Decepticons.
On a boulder.
Starscream and Megatron just majestically waterfall behind them. He calls it into Prime, who pledges to meet at the falls. And
I do like the microphone that pops out of both Hound and Prime's face. I've always liked that.
They have Bluetooth.
That's the communication. Yes. It's yes.
Prime says he's going to be there in 8,000 astroseconds.
I didn't do the math. I'm never doing the math again.
I have a note that says, Ryan, how long was that?
I don't care.
This is also great because it's the first instance of everybody transforming to roll out, but not you, Bumblebee.
But he starts to transform. It's like
yes.
Yeah. It's a really gimpy. Like he gets midway through it, just pauses.
Not you, Bumblebee.
Not you, transforms
it's
back.
Really funny.
Yeah, he got the guard the base duty.
Yeah.
He looks very sad. That's it. They're rolling out. That is a very bad rollout sequence. At least
it's not good.
Here. And it's just Bumblebee and Ratchet being
sad.
What's
Wheeljack?
Oh, and Wheeljack.
He's working on them brains.
Oh no!
It's a secret
but he
project.
was ordered not to.
Yeah, he doesn't listen very well.
Back at the dam with the Decepticons, Energon is being pumped and sass is being dumped in the form of Starscream on Megatron. Megatron explains that he's already got special plans in place if the Autobots show up, which of course we know they're going to do. And before we know it, we see the Autobots approaching the beautiful scenery of the river leading to the dam. They get to a cliff and they all transform.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to get too into the animation errors. However, this show, I just feel like this show would never end if I actually talked about all the animation errors. But the crew gets to the top of the cliff, and this is one of my favorite ones. Let's just wait for him to get to the top of the cliff, and we'll see you guys call it out here. So he's like, everybody transform.
A lot of transformation porn.
Oh, this is fixed! On the version that we watched online, what happens is it shows Trailbaker transform from car to robot. Whoever the next guy is, car to robot. And then Blue Streak goes from robot to car.
So, listener, guess what? whatever you're watching, it's probably wrong. Like, because we are watching like 4 different versions.
It makes all of this just adds to the complete and total incompetence and idiocy of the Autobots. They cannot.
You're attributing all the animation errors to Autobot destruction.
They just cannot get their shit together.
I like it.
There is a lot of transformation. I was going to say porn in here, where it's like we see a lot of them transform. And then yes, we get Megatron, who's like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah, they don't see the Decepticons immediately, but Hound detects the electronic signature, and then Megatron just reveals himself and just unleashes his forces to do battle here. And Prime says, "Autobots, fight back!"
That fight back line is weird. Like, I don't know that needs to be an order. So, but we get one of my favorite Starscream lines, which is,
You're too slow, Rusty Pants!
I don't remember.
That's right there. That's where he
what
says
he's
it.
saying,
He says it to Starscream says it to Ironhide. You're too slow, Rusty Pants. And then Ironhide says like, "Aw, shut up and fight."
So the foes battle.
You're the Rusty Pants.
Everybody battles. Megatron unveils the cherry on top of his plan. He's hooked his fusion cannon directly into the dam's power source. In combination with Rumble creating kind of a pile driver earthquake, Megatron fires his cannon on the Autobots, slicing into the cliff they're on, causing them to fall hundreds of feet to the river below and being dragged off by rapids. And we go to commercial.
Okay, so we paused like basically the minute 14. Every single Autobot is miscolored in this scene, where the Decepticon Seekers swoop down and pan.
Prime has red legs.
It's Sideswipe.
Ironhide might be right.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
He needs a red torso.
Sideswipe is colored as Sunstreaker, Bluestreak as Trailbreaker, Brawn as Hound, Prime as Sideswipe, Hound as Ironhide, Trailbreaker as Gears, and Mirage as Bluestreak. It's everything. They did
Starscream as
everything
Thundercracker,
wrong.
and Skywarp as Starscream, and Sky Thunderscream as Wipe
Thunderscream.
Score.
Oh. Anywho, get ready, everybody, because Megatron has cables.
Yeah, I already walked through all this. It is a weird scene. Like, why does Rumble have to break open the Earth like that when Megatron has all that power that actually causes all the damage anyway?
Oh, no.
Yeah, it is very like Lookout Mountain where Megatron circumcises another mountaintop.
Mm-hmm. So all the Autobots, they fall into the river and commercial.
Yeah. Now he's really got some rusty pants.
And Optimus Prime was all blue at certain points during that.
He'll be all blue soon enough. Also,
back from break, we see.
I gotta go.
Don't do it. What do I need you for at the end of this thing? We already played the pronunciation game. All right. Well,
sorry.
Right.
Okay.
I don't know if I've ever left an actual episode early before.
I don't.
It's fucking raining outside.
Let's see how much more fun we have without you.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's understandable.
The first one went long. So
everybody likes Caleb.
It's fine.
It's true.
I mean, it's just natural.
Bye. Have
Real
fun.
talk. Have a good massage.
Caleb has to go. Get that dick sucked.
You wish.
I don't know why I wish.
You wish.
You wish.
Okay, it's weird. I don't know if we can.
I know it is. Well, all right, we'll try.
All right, we'll do our best. Okay, we're back from commercial, and Bumblebee has disobeyed orders immediately. He shows up right out of nowhere, and it's up to him and Spike to figure out how to save the day. Ryan, you love those hot pink seats?
I do. Honestly, I thought it was a one-off, but they maintain it.
Yeah.
Bumblebee seats are pink.
I'll have to check on my Masterpiece Bumblebee and see if the seats are pink. And I wonder if the seats are pink in the new Masterpiece Bumblebee that's coming out in the coming weeks. Keep an eye out for that. Starscream and Megatron are chatting it up at the top of the hill here.
There's some real bad lip syncing.
Yeah. They're not convinced, or Starscream's not convinced that the Autobots are dead. Megatron explains, they'll scoop them up at the end of the river, and while they're damaged, they'll just finish them off. It's a weird plan.
Yeah, he says lines that don't match up to his face at all. And then here we're about to see where Wheeljack operates Teletran 1 like Fonzie from Happy Days.
Oh, just does like a...
He just hits it.
Hits it with his hip.
Which,
kind of
honestly, spoilers, that's literally in the script, which we talk about later.
Oh, really? Wow, how about that? So, we're talking about Spike and Bumblebee showing back up to Autobot base. Ratchet can't contact Optimus Prime, so there's a little bit of freaking out about next steps, but Wheeljack unveils a plan. Despite Optimus Prime's orders, he's been working on some headgear for the old dinos that will make them smarter and easier to control. So the Dinobots, they bring him out, put on the headgear, and they agree to help.
We do as told for now.
Instead of using the entrance to Autobot headquarters, I like how the Dinobots just blast a hole through the wall.
I had that note too. They're like, it never occurred to me before watching this. Like, they just blow a hole through the mountain and escape that way, as opposed to using the arc entrance.
Walking on through, the corridors. So we're back to the Decepticons. Megatrain has the Autobots bound up in, quote, Energon chains, which, if Energon cubes are extruded out of Soundwave's chest, what are Energon chains extruded out of?
Poop. So, cross your transistors or something.
The Autobots are about to meet their doom by Decepticon firing squad when Megatron notices something flying in the distance. What are those things? The Dinobots land and immediately give off threatening snarls. Megatron takes some shots, but Wheeljack nails him with his micro-inhibitor shells, destabilizing Megatron's equilibrium. Starscream immediately uses this as an opportunity to take command of the Decepticons, and he commands an attack.
He's instantly like, Megatron has fallen, follow me.
Yeah, Megatron is nowhere close to death. He's just sort of been a little setback, and Starscream's like, it's me now!
I'm the one. I will say this whole fight is pretty awesome. Like, I like this fight.
It is a fun one, yeah. There's more bomb dropping. Starscream drops bombs on Grimlock, but immediately he takes shots from below. Skywarp tries to fry Slag, but that backfires. And then you've got Sludge, who just seems to be randomly crossing a river, and he's treated to one of the most awkward rhymes in the history of the art form, which is I want to repeat this. Because it's so bad. This is Rumble, of course. Mm-hmm. He's taking on Sludge. He says,
Defund Decepticon if you happen to tumble. Look out, robot, cause here comes Rumble.
I don't know. Why do you think that's a problem?
It's just awkwardly delivered. There's not a good cadence to it. Those aren't good bars, man.
I liked it.
All right.
I liked it. I also like when Grimlock catches, I think is it Thundercracker in his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Skywarp.
No fair!
Yeah. Skywarp fires heat seekers on Slag, but it's Skywarp, actually, not Thundercracker, that goes in Grimlock's jaws and then just kind of gets ragdolled to the side, thrown hundreds of feet, and knocks down Soundwave.
Yeah, I particularly like Sludge beating Rumble at his own game, and then we see like Grimlock tossing fucking Skywarp.
I can't remember the Dinobots' names, so I'm glad that I can remember the Seeker names for you. You can remember the Dinos for me.
I had them all, even and Snarl. I had Snarl as well,
which they come later. I can't remember how they're introduced.
I don't even know if they are. I don't remember.
I don't. They just show up?
Maybe it's
I think they get made because I think it's in response to the Dinobots taking off, so they build 2 new ones somehow.
It might be in like Dinobot Island.
If you accidentally walk across the boundary of my green lawned yard, pay it a compliment with the song of a bard.
Is that your rhyme? That is the rumble and sludge rhyme?
Yeah, I didn't get to it earlier.
I'm sorry.
Had to creep it on in here. Okay, Megatron recovers and demands that the fight continue. He transforms into his gun mode and attaches himself to the bottom of the new leader of the Decepticon, Starscream's
It's so
body,
weird.
and then fires. No mass shifting or mass displacement.
No.
He's just a giant rifle magnetized to the bottom of a warplane.
Yeah, that's really strange.
It is quite silly. Wheeljack discovers a cache of Autobot weapons, and because all the weapons have different ludicrous abilities other than just murdering foes, he aims and fires Sideswipe's flare gun and Blue Streak's bolts at the Autobots, and the combined powers of those weapons free our heroes from the energon chains extruded from the buttholes of Skywarp.
You guys are good.
After a final, very weak kind of attack and counterattack on the Dinobots, the Decepticons have had enough. They retreat. And see you later, fucks. I do like how the Decepticons, how the Seekers transform into jets, and they're just facing up as if they're taking off like a space shuttle.
That happens a lot, yeah, where they're facing like the jets down, like noses up, where they take off vertically.
Jets down, noses up. That's the way we
like to
fuck. I was going to say to return to Decepticon headquarters.
Oh, I might be horny.
APDC AD action. All right, so we're back at Autobot headquarters now. Everybody is about to get a new ass ripped. Nobody fucking followed orders around here. But because Prime has no backbone, and because everybody's disobedience actually...
We're just around.
Oh, you're right. Okay. We're just around. We're not at headquarters. But because the disobedience actually led to everybody being saved, there's no punishment, and the Dinobots are now officially full-fledged Autobots. They're part of the entourage. They all will play the role of Johnny Drama.
Oh boy.
That is an entourage.
I get it. It was just...
He was the one that had an attitude problem.
It doesn't make me feel good, but I get it.
I only watched like 3 episodes of that show.
I watched all of them.
Why did you do that?
I don't know. I kind of liked it.
Now that ends this episode. No new voice actors. Greg Berger was in the last episode as Jetfire. Obviously, he is Grimlock. That no-talent hack Frank Welker let his skills to Sludge. And we brought Neil Ross into the cast as Slag. So I guess we do have new voice actors.
but I guess you didn't do any information.
I guess. Well, we've talked about all these people.
Yes.
At length. Neil Ross was he at TFCon Chicago or LA? I can't remember. Maybe he was at both.
Probably both.
He was great. All right, fun details, tropes. Neil deGrasse douchebag. You want to tell us why all the science in this episode is wrong?
Nope.
You've already covered all
it's fine. I think I covered it.
Okay. All right. Then why don't we get into
In the Real World? S.O.S. Dinobots aired October 27th, 1984. 4 days before my 7th birthday.
Aw.
Yeah.
Maybe you got them for your birthday.
I was a baby. In the American Top 40...
Number 2 with Caribbean Queen. This is Casey Kasem on AT40 in Hollywood. Now we're up to the number 1 song in America. A song that's broken a record set by Frank Sinatra. A record that took more than 20 years to establish. It's the record for the longest span of time between an artist's first number 1 record and last number 1 record. Let me mention first that Sinatra, before recording on his own, had sung on 3 number 1 hits as a vocalist with the Tommy Dorsey Orchestra. But he had no name credit on the label, so we can't count those as his own hits. Frank's first number 1 on his own was a song called 5 Minutes More. That came in 1946. Then, 20 years and 7 months later, Sinatra's most recent number 1 song, a duet with his daughter Nancy. It was called Something Stupid. That was in 1967. And his record for longest span between first and last number 1s has remained intact ever since 1967. Until it was surpassed 2 weeks ago by just 7 months. The new record has stretched the time span to over 21 years. It's been 21 years and 2 months since this record-breaking artist first hit number 1 with a song called Fingertips. And 2 weeks ago, he moved into the number 1 spot with his most recent number 1 song. It's now been at the top for 3 consecutive weeks. The most popular song in the USA is I Just Called to Say I Love You by Stevie Wonder.
No New Year's Day to celebrate.
The number 1 movie was The Terminator. I'll be back into the chopper.
Let's get down.
Everybody get down. Yes. I'm not going to describe what The Terminator is. If any of you don't know the Terminator movies, there's a new one coming out. Have you seen
Everybody knows the Terminator.
Have you
movies.
seen the previews for the new Terminator?
Yeah, it's got Sarah Connor.
What do you think?
It's got Linda
You don't care for the Terminators.
No, they're fine.
Okay.
I just haven't seen them all. Terminator 3 wasn't great. I didn't watch the one.
I disagree.
I didn't watch the one where Batman yells at a crew member, and I think I did.
Oh, that's a bad. Yeah, that's the bad one.
I did see most of Genesis, which was just okay at best. But I like the idea behind him. I was obsessed when Terminator 2 came out. I mean, that movie was a smash.
Yeah, it was amazing.
And that's probably the best. That's got to be universally regarded as the best Terminator.
Oh,
movie.
100%.
Like, I would really like Terminator. Like, I would draw Terminator comics and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100% Terminator 2 is the best. I mean...
But in general, they're not the best sci-fi franchise. At least after Terminator 2, especially. They didn't get better, that's for sure. Maybe the world got built a little bit, but not in an interesting way.
I talked to West about this a couple of nights ago about... I like Terminator 3. I really do. I enjoy it. And I think, but mainly my enjoyment of it is it has such a down ending. But she pointed out the misogyny of the Terminator. Like, because she's just a hot Terminator who does like lick stuff. And I'm like, oh, I guess you're right. Yeah, that's not good. But I just enjoy that movie. The only Terminator movie I don't enjoy is the one with Christian Bale. Because Salvation, that one is fucking terrible and unwatchable.
Yeah, it's actually been a while since I've seen Terminator 3, and I think I maybe only saw it once or twice. I just remember it was notable because Arnold was back, and that girl was fine, though, that lady Terminator.
Yes.
But I don't remember all the licky stuff. But I would assume if you're a hot lady Terminator, you're probably going to be using your sexuality to set up some murder death kills.
I tried to make that point.
On dumb. So it's not really about over sexualizing the woman. The people who are really being victimized in this are the men. Big dumb men.
She also pointed out that, and something I never thought about is, John Connor is always a piece of shit. You never like him. Like, I thought about it, all those movies, I'm like, yeah,
Eddie Furlong is just a
good.
punk ass.
He's never good. And I guess we have to keep him alive because he's the quote-unquote future of humanity. But, like, yeah, he's a fucking asshole in every movie.
Right. I just knew he's a punk teenage kid, but it's kind of his environment, right? He has no father. His mom's always committed. He's kind of going from home to home. So he's kind of what you'd expect a foster kid to probably be.
Sure.
Like. They act out.
T2, he's the least amount of shit. But then
I don't remember T3. I mean, it seemed like he was that guy from that show Carnival. I think he was one of the main characters in the HBO show Carnival. I can't remember his name, but wasn't he just fine? It was like as if John Connor matured.
That's true. He's not terrible in that one, but God, just everyone you're like, I will take any random person over you. Like, I just didn't like him in anything. Especially Genesis, which I do like, and a lot of people don't.
It's been a while. Okay, since I only have maybe caught about half of Genesis. Is the actual John Connor the bad guy in that movie? Not a Terminator version of John Connor, but the actual John Connor?
I don't remember. I believe he is transformed... Yes, into a Terminator.
So he is a Terminator and is the real John Connor.
I believe that's true.
If these movies were so great, you'd think they'd have better impact on our memories.
Yeah, also, that movie was ruined spoiled by the fact that those fucking trailers gave it away.
Oh, was it really? I can't even remember.
Who cares?
I just know Arnie's back again.
I am excited to see the new. I will see all the
I like that Linda Hamilton's in it.
Terminators.
I like that Linda Hamilton is in it. It looks like John Connor's not in it because I think Linda Hamilton is having to save a younger version of herself, maybe or something.
I think so. I don't know. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see.
I mean, if they can go back in time, there's endless places you could send back in time to stop this.
Absolutely.
Genetic stream from progressing. But, okay, anything else other than Terminator to talk about from the 80s?
For October 27th, 1984, on TV, on the cover of TV Guide, huge crush of mine, Brooke Shields.
Oh, yeah.
Love that smile, love those eyebrows. So cute.
Her eyebrows were ahead of her time.
It's true. Now they're a thing.
Yeah.
She was also excellent in an episode of Quantum Leap, which I is a show I quite enjoy. The cover story on the TV Guide is My Wet Gold Diary. Wet Gold is a movie, but it also sounds suggestive. I've seen some pornography films about this. So Laura is a young cafe waitress dreaming of owning a piano. Laura stumbles across Samson, a drunk elderly man who fills her with exciting stories of a boat that sank with millions of dollars in gold. Although Chris Barnes, Laura's boyfriend, keeps telling her that Samson's stories are all false, Samson makes her believe that they are indeed true. Samson takes Laura to a library where she finds an old newspaper article that matches her up with the events he described. And that's a movie that happened.
That's, that paragraph made it sound really exciting.
I could see in your eyes that you were, like, dying as I was explaining it. So I can only imagine what our listeners care for. As for trivia, there isn't always trivia.
Okay, we don't need it. we don't have to always have trivia. Why don't we rate the scheme here real quick?
Oof. So but I guess we're always rating the Decepticon scheme.
They're the only ones that scheme. Although the Autobots, they didn't really scheme, but they did have a thing that happened.
Autobot scheme, 4 out of 10.
Yeah,
like. You, Wheeljack, what the fuck are you doing?
Give them brains before you activate them.
Decepticon scheme, I mean...
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
Damn's a damn.
It's like, I don't even want to rate it.
Okay, all right. Maybe we should talk about we didn't do script deviations.
Did we not? Okay. Oh!
Did you say that there isn't? Ryan, I think you're getting drunk.
I am, actually. My iconic... Well, we did the iconic.
No, we haven't done iconic.
We haven't?
No, we rated the scheme.
Do I not have script deviations? Oh, I'm looking right at
it. Okay. All right, let's do a drunk edition of
Script Deviations.
Okay.
Listener, Ryan is tipsy.
I've had a few. I haven't eaten anything today except half a sandwich. Okay, script deviations. So this episode was written by Donald F. Glutt, 6/29/84, revised by Ron Friedman, July 7th, 1984. So instead of Sideswipe and Brawn removing the rubble from the sealed cavern, the earthquake spontaneously crumbles the wall, basically, and then Prime and Spike are like, what the fuck is that? Mm-hmm. A lot of Ron's actually excellent punch-up comes from making the dialogue really better. Jazz's line, "Dinosaurs, huh? They must have been ugly suckers," was changed from "Dinosaurs, never heard of them," which is a little embarrassing. Like, okay. I don't know, Jazz, why is that embarrassing? It seems like at this point, the final forms of the Transformers aren't really worked out even now, because when Spike and Hound go to the museum, in the script, they call Hound's alt mode a Ligier, Ligier, which is a French automobile company that makes several different cars, but I think it's Mirage. I think it's Mirage's form.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, it makes way more sense for Hound to be Jeep, because he's a scout. When Hound shows the holograms of the other Autobots, Huffer says, they look pretty stupid to me. Right before the Dinobots attack the Autobots, there's an electronic crackle around their heads and then smoke as if components inside their heads are burning out. And the Dinobots roar from discomfort. And I guess I missed it in earlier scripts, but this is before Rumble's earthquake power is like fleshed out because he doesn't have any pistons in the script. It just says he stomps the ground.
Yeah, and I believe some early comics, that's how they interpret his rumbling ability. It almost just like looks like he's dancing or something.
Which makes no sense.
Yeah, no. Give him those pile drivers, please.
It's hinted in the final episode, but the script specifically states that water is somehow able to short circuit the Autobots, which flies in the face of the pilot, whenever the Autobots fall on the ground. Starscream in the script says, "What now, Megatron? Surely a little bath hasn't ended our Autobot problem." And Megatron says, "Hardly, but the water has weakened them enough to make them powerless to resist."
That's dumb.
Yeah, it's very dumb, but yeah.
I have to assume this was written after More Than Meets the Eye when Hound was clearly underwater for 18 minutes.
It does literally say in the script that, I talked about earlier, that Wheeljack, quote, slams his fist against Teletran 1's console a la Robotic Fonzie. So that's a literal reference.
1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, right? Okay.
Guys, that's a great show. Go watch it.
I never got into Happy Days.
Oh, no?
I never did. I remember watching Laverne and Shirley.
I don't know why anybody is I guess our parents maybe, but hoping for the days of the 50s. I guess if you're white and male, it's great, but the script says the cavern they sailed the Dinobots in is, quote, the Bone Chamber, unquote, which is now the name of my male strip club.
That's better than what we were discussing last episode, which I think was the glory hole.
Was it? Did we? After the Dinobots blast through the Ark wall to go save the Autobots, Wheeljack in the script says, after they blast through the wall and fly out, Wheeljack says, "Okay, so they're not neat."
I like that line.
I do too. I liked it a lot. I wish they'd kept that in.
Was that a Friedman punch-up?
I don't recall, but
we'll just say anything good is
probably.
Right. How do you know what is the Friedman punch-up and what isn't?
Because stuff is crossed out and written in his script.
Okay, gotcha.
In his handwriting.
Okay. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, okay. Wow. All right. Awesome. Then let's transition to the. All right. So we can. I'm the ghost of the iconic moment. Ryan, what's your iconic moment for this episode?
Just for me, the Dinobots basically being introduced and being powerhouses in general. Also, this is the first instance, I think, of the Transformers making new comrades.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how many? We're 9 episodes in, right?
I think it's 8.
8 episodes in, yeah. And it's already we're already tired of these old guys. Mm-hmm. let's
sell some more toys, motherfucker.
Bring some personality to this. Obviously, just the existence of the Dinobots is the most iconic thing, but I think, and I don't know if it's because of Dr. Smoove, but I feel like I remember it as a kid, that stupid Huffer line about, "I thought you were supposed to make dinosaurs," has stuck with me ever since I was a kid. So, and it also still makes me chuckle every time I hear it this day. It makes me want to punch him.
Yes, Huffer is the worst.
Stupid face.
I don't know why some people seem to hate Gears, but I don't know why there's not a campaign against Huffer.
Yeah, Huffer's way worse than Gears. All right, well, next episode, I think what we have to look forward to is more crystal power sources to be discovered.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. And a dead friend comes back to stop the Decepticons' evil scheme.
I haven't even looked ahead. I don't even know where we're going for.
Well, I hope that you're on the edge of your seat then, buddy.
Hey, you'll pay for the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge.
It's all about crystals. With Decepticons, it's all about crystals, water power, maybe some oil. That's it.
Oh, God.
I don't think they just need to tap the fucking sun. Hey, everybody, visit our store at autopoddecepticast.com. We've still got posters. We've got pins. There's going to be more posters. There's going to be more pins illustrated by me and Ryan. And, of course, listen...
Ideas by Caleb.
That's true. We are actually just Caleb's tools of execution, is kind of at this point. Please continue to listen and subscribe to the show. Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, whatever your platform of choice is. And Apple Podcast users, leave a review, why don't you?
5 stars, please.
And there's our social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all at APODcast. And like I said, the web presence, autopoddecepticast.com, and the Patreon. If you'd love to support, be a part of the little community we're building, you can visit that at patreon.com/APODcast. We're out of here! That's my new catchphrase.
We're out of here!
Bye, everybody.
Come to DC.
See you in DC, people. We're out of here!
Bye.
The Bureau of Progressive Labor Activities, the ICYAC Preservation Council. I like that question.
That's a good one.
Corey Burt.
This is another one. This one from last year.
D team, C team, B team, A team. What a pain in the ass.
I like that.
I think there's a slide that exists for that one. There's not one for Casey. I know that.
Here's the new ones.
Co-founder of Top 40, the voice of Cliff Jumper, and a devout runner, Catholic, vegan, Cliff Jumper.
I can.
He's a devout Cliff Jumper. I like it. I'm with it.
Good.
And he is a vegan.
Yes.
Okay. Clive Revel, the voice of Kickback. Clive trained for which profession in New Zealand before changing his career in voice acting? Changing his career to the voice acting and the stage. He was a sheep farmer, accountant, meteorologist, hobbit.
It's a New Zealand joke because Peter Jackson.
I hope you have to explain that in the audience.
Yeah.
Is the answer meteorologist?
That's an accountant.
It's sheep farmer, dude.
He's right.
Dick Gautier, TF series voice of Hot Rod at Rodimus. Dick was nominated for a Tony as the lead in which Broadway musical? Bye Bye Birdie, Ta Ta Tiki, Night Night Nudie, Skeet Skeet Snakey. That means jizzing. There's gonna be kids there.
I can't. Oh, that's a shame.
Maybe kids don't know the little kids.
I think it'll be all right.
All right, and I'm guessing that is.
It is actually correct.
Eric Idle. This well-known Monty Python member's work featured naughty subject matter, as demonstrated by the phrase "nudge, nudge, say no more." Shove, shove. Why don't this fit? I think it's hilarious, but I'm a little nervous. Tisk, tisk, you drop the yo-yo. Splish, splash, this is not water. I just don't know about B.
I think his B's fine.
It's okay.
Yeah.
These are okay.
Okay. Frank Welker, this prolific voice actor, developed the voice of Megatron with the mindset of, I'm trapped in an elevator. I'm stuck in traffic. I'm lost in a cave. I'm a hostage on a Transformers podcast.
Oh, yes, this is the one.
Very good.
Here you go. They didn't call.
Who didn't call?
They didn't call, but they were. It's because he followed me to the driveway.
Oh, that's kind of weird.
Babe, do you want mine, babe? I didn't know you were going to be here.
I just finished eating breakfast.
Okay, you had a long breakfast. I love you. I can't wait to have that animal in this room.
Oh,
okay.
Like, I'm sorry. I couldn't remember what you were talking about. I was like, that animal in this room.
Just like I couldn't remember what you were talking about.
No, I remember now. Fully. Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Any drinks or anything? Water?
I'm fine.
Thank you. I'll take a water.
LaCroix or regular water?
Ooh, LaCroix, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
Ryan?
I'm good, thank you.
I think I forgot to.
Oh, this was one of my favorite ones.
Greg Burger. Me. Voice Grimlock. Me voice Eeyore. Me voice Odie. Me all of the above. How are you going to say that in the audience?
What's that?
You're going to say me before each one?
Yeah. Greg Burger. Me, voice Grimlock. Me, voice Eeyore. Yeah.
The talented voice of Blaster, which is an actual line. I'm the style and profile and limousine Jet planes, kiss, stealing, wheeling, son of... Where did those come from?
So, all the other three of those are lines from professional wrestlers. B is the incredible, the Ultimate Warrior. C is Ric Flair, and D is
You need a koozie or anything?
I don't. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So, thank you for going through those because now, based on your reactions, I know what I need to do.
I think they're all potential.
They're all,
none of them are bad. Some of them can be punched up. Mostly the early ones. I think your new ones are all pretty solid.
I'll play with
While we're doing feedback, should I just zip through my thing?
I mean, your thing you're definitely doing that doesn't matter whether we say you don't want to do it or not.
True.
Here's the thing. It's good.
Caleb, I don't hate it as much as I thought I would.
How many work with
That's
this?
what you told him.
There will be, like, basically, here's the setup. It would be after you do script deviations, and I would basically set up that I have an inside source at Hasbro.
Interesting.
Who is sharing some top secret information with me, but he wants to get it out to the public. And most of it is going to be related to crossovers that Hasbro had with the movie that most people don't know about or didn't notice.
Okay.
So let me just open this up here.
Cells is the sponsor of Autopod Decepticast. Yes.